wrong for me? Can there be some sort of error to stop the surmounting terror? Is this really the end, not some crazy dream? Somebody please tell me that I'm dreaming. Not easy now to stop from screaming. Words escape me as I try to speak. Tears fall, but why am I crying? After all, I'm not afraid of dying. I believe that there never is an end. As the guards rush me out to the courtyard, somebody cries from a cell, got me with you if there's a God. Why does he let me go? As I walk, my life drifts before me. Though the end is near, I'm not sorry. Catch my soul is willing to fly away. Mark my words, my soul lives on. Don't worry now, 'cause I've gone beyond to seek the truth. When you know that your time is close at hand, maybe then you'll begin to understand that life down here is just illusion.
Hey everybody, it's 7 o'clock, and given that this is a comedy show, that means we're not starting yet. If you want to take this opportunity, share a link around with your friends who aren't already watching. Grab a snack, get some drink, hit the potty, whatever you need. Now's the time, because the show, the Body Posi Comedy Show, will begin in, let's say, 3 minutes. So, see you again then.
Take your pictures down and shake it out. Truth or consequence, say it aloud. Use that evidence, race it around. There goes my hero. Watch him as he goes. There goes my hero. He's ordinary.
Welcome to the virtual Stab Comedy Theater. It's time for the Body Posi stand-up show.
La única croqueta que vas a probar tú es la que tengo como
It's a little loud there, guys.
cuatro tacos, cinco sin trabajo y engordado soy calvo. Punta policía,
So maybe it's not time for the Body Posi comedy show.
Me hace flipar. Mi padre está en la
Alright.
prisión estatal. Salgo por ahí, me meto en peleas, bandas de
What's the word? We're being cracked. Hacked. I don't know. Like there's a lot of. Oh, okay. That's the meaning of it.
George Floyd me la chupa. George Floyd me la chupa.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
1 second. Just checking in with everybody. Do we know all these people, or did we get Zoom bombed? What's going on?
Yes, I know you from.
Just Morgan Freeman.
We know less.
All right.
Okay.
Hey, everybody. 3 months. It's about time something happens. So, 1 second. I'm going to change a password, and then we'll start a new room. I was wondering if it was ever going to happen to us. Frankly, I'm not even sure that's what that was. It could just be all of Derek's crazy friends. So, give me just a second. I'll give you some more music again, and then we'll make all of that work. So, 1 sec.
Kudos, my hero, leaving all the best. You know my hero, the one that's on. There goes my hero, watch him as he goes. There goes my hero. He's ordinary. There goes my hero. Watch him as he goes. There goes my hero. He's ordinary.
So anybody that's just joining the stream, thank you for your patience. You guys missed a not at all entertaining or clever bombing. But that's all right. They're trying to do their thing out there. Let them have their fun. But now it's time to get everybody back in the room, and we're going to get the Body Posi Comedy Show started. So give us just a couple minutes. I know. I'm sorry. I mean, if it was fun, I would have maybe shared it with you, and you could have seen what was going on. But it was boring. It was lame. So, apologize. 3 months in, it's about time we got one of those. So give us a second. We're going to reset here, and the show will begin. Let's call it 2 minutes.
Sounds good.
There's no place for us. What is this thing that builds our dreams, yet slips away from us? Who wants to live forever? Who wants to live forever? There's no chance for us. It's all decided for us. This world has only one sweet romance set aside for us. Who wants to live forever? Who wants to live forever?
Welcome again to the Virtual Stab Comedy Theater. It's time again for the Body Posi Comedy Show. Please welcome to your screen your host. Oh, let him adjust the camera a little bit first. All right, now we're ready.
I got it.
Welcome to the screen your host, Dan Smith.
Hey, everybody, how you doing? Thanks for being here tonight as the next Body Posi show. I'm as Jesse said, I'm Dan Smith, otherwise known as Dan the Can't Stand Up Comedian. I hope everybody out there is doing safe and healthy, and we're kind of going through another surge in the pandemic. States opened up too soon, and got another surge in the cases, and who could have seen that coming? That's right, every doctor ever. But my biggest concern with this is this going to turn into a zombie apocalypse? Which I know kind of sounds a little far-fetched, but bear with me. You see, for me, I've been calling you guys The Walking Dead to me for years now. So, it's not that far-fetched. The other thing we got going on, of course, is the protests. A lot of good conversations coming up about things that need to be changed in the country, obviously, for police brutality and police reform. Got a lot of work to do, but even some of the big organizations in America are kind of showing their support. One of them that surprised me the most was NASCAR. They banned the Confederate flag from all of their races, which, that's pretty much 75% of their fan base, isn't it? But actually, one of their drivers also said that if they banned the flag, he was quitting. He didn't like the direction that NASCAR was going, which is weird because the only direction he's ever had to worry about is forward and to the left. But so he's actually quitting racing with 0 wins, which makes sense because that's just like the Confederate Army. My wife and I were just celebrating our 14th wedding anniversary. A lot of people ask me, is your wife also in a wheelchair? Which I just think that's weird. That's like me asking you, hey, so does your spouse also ask really fucking stupid questions? No, she's not in a wheelchair. She has a fetish for them. My lady likes to role play. That's all I'm going to do tonight. We have got a fantastic show for you tonight. I'm so excited for this lineup. If I wasn't hosting, I would definitely be out there watching with you guys. And for all of you watching on Zoom, if you've got your video, turn on your video if you like. And if your sound, turn on your sound so we can hear you laugh with us. If you got a conversation going on or some other sort of loud noise, please mute yourself. And having said that, I'm going to go ahead and introduce our first comic of the evening. Please give a warm welcome to Jesse Gould.
So I got in trouble for clapping for myself at a work conference. I'm a neuroscientist. I gave my 2-minute spiel about my research, and when I was done, I clapped for myself to show I was done. Immediately, the most famous person in the room raises her hand and goes, "Never clap for yourself." But you know what? Every other woman finished their bit, and we're like, that's all I got. So I'm going to clap for myself. Also, I'm 31, and I've basically only been in school. I have a PhD, which people think that's an accomplishment. But for me, it was more of a cop-out. Like, I can keep being a student and put off being an adult. Great. Also found that talking is pretty hard for me. I don't know if you guys can tell, like I've got pretty bad vocal fry. Takes a lot of effort. Takes a lot of effort to say. So I know this is a body positive show, but I'm also mental health positive because not only am I fat, I also have anxiety, depression, and PTSD. So dating is a piece of cake. While I'm bragging, I also have daddy issues. My dad is a recovering alcoholic, and we've been working on our relationship. And alcoholism is a hard thing to talk about. And I wouldn't normally compare that with being fat. But I was talking to my dad recently, and we found a commonality. So he goes, "At least you don't have a disease that makes people hate you." And I go, "Yes, I do. I'm fat." And immediately he was like, "Oh, you're right. You get it." But I found the easiest way to make friends is organized activities. So it's why I played sports and why I got into improv when I got too fat to play sports. And I used to think it would be a good idea to join a church. Particularly the Mormon church, because even the ugly Mormon girls had a date to get. But I couldn't do it because the only time I went to church, I was like 5, and it was Catholic church, and the priest wouldn't give me a cookie. I'm not worshiping any god that doesn't give a fat kid a cookie. Like, you give a fat kid a cookie, she's gonna want to go to church. Yeah. So this pandemic has made me really, made it really hard to imagine ever wearing a bra again. Anybody else?
Yes.
Bras have always been a pain in the ass. Since I'm fat, I'm supposed to have huge boobs. I don't. I have normal sized boobs. Maybe that's because I didn't go to church. But there are some pros to being fat. It's not all bad things. I started getting catcalled very young. I passed for older a lot because my clothing options were Lane Bryant. And everyone gave me free diet tips. And what's even better about it is I have body dysmorphia, but not the normal kind you hear about. I have this fun kind where I think I'm skinny and attractive. So for me, bullying was always a surprise. Like, who? Oh, me. Okay. But despite that, I'm proud of myself and who I am and how I look, despite being told multiple times that I'm embarrassing. And I'll leave you with the time I'm most proud of. I was at a gay bar in Nashville doing a duet with a random stranger that for some reason had different expectations for my singing voice. We sang Faith Hill, Tim McGraw's song. He was Faith, obviously I was Tim. And the embarrassment I put this man through still brings a smile to my face today. And I hope I brought a smile to your guys' face. Thank you.
All right. Let's hear it again for Jesse Gould. Now, from one Jesse to the next, we have the co-producer of the telenovela show with us. Very excited to have him tonight. Please welcome Jesse Rivera.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? That's me. I'm Jesse Rivera. Hey, let's give it up one more time for Jessie Gould. She's doing a really great job. She's also in telenovela, so let's give it up one more time for Jessie Gould. I've always thought it'd be kind of cool to date another person named Jesse, because, you know, Jessies and Jessies, it could happen. Just like Tony and Tony, it could happen, or like Bobby and Bobby, it could happen, you know? But I think it'd be really cool to date another Jesse, just because, like, I want to be able to say my own name during sex. You know? I mean, I do it now, but it's like when I'm by myself, you know. But it'd be good to say it and mean it, you know. But that's also why, like, I can't ever date someone with like the same name as like my mom or one of my sisters, because that would just be weird, you know. Especially being the mama's boy I am. Those of you who know me know that that's true. So anyway, enough about me. I could talk about myself all night, and I you know what, Lynn, I'm gonna go ahead and keep talking about myself. I'm also I'm a fat guy. Like, I'm a fat kid. Like, I'm just fat. I a few years ago just like found myself too fat to even do improv, because like I didn't like want to like crush any of my improv team players. So like I stopped doing improv and I started doing stand up, and I just realized I wasn't a team player. It's a lot funner up here by myself than with the team, you know. So there's a lot going on right now, guys, and you know it's weird to, like, I didn't want to talk about COVID, but it's kind of hard to not talk about like the elephant in the room, you know. But I'm getting really, so like, speaking of like being body positive, right? I kind of jumped ahead a little bit. Like, being body positive is like something that could really affect just like anybody. Like, for example, I used to have this one friend and his name was Oscar, and I used to think that Oscar was like really short. But then like one day I saw Oscar and all of a sudden he was taller than I was, and I was like, dude, you're not short. You were just always like slumped over and like really low confidence. And then just like one day he's like he got like he figured out what was wrong with himself. And it's like it's just like being positive like changes not only like how you feel about yourself, but it like changes the way people see you and the way people perceive you, you know. And it's really weird because like a lot of people think that like body shaming and being body positive is like really like a fat thing, you know. But like, no, like people get shamed for like lots of things and like lots of stupid things. Like right now, like we're even seeing people get shamed for like wearing a mask, you know. It's like wearing a mask in public, it's like you're giving up, like you're being weak, like and like people call you sheeple, right? It's like, it's so frustrating. And at the same time, there's a flip side to that. Like, we need to also, like, if someone's not wearing a mask, like we need to like not turn around and flip it on them and then shame them for not wearing a mask, because all of that stuff, man, it just builds up and it just keeps beating you down and beating you down. So I kind of went off on a little tangent there. Sorry about that, guys. But so the other day, like I mentioned, like I'm a big guy, I'm fat, and recently I lost. Well, let me tell you that I had my first telemedicine session. Has anyone else done that yet? A telemedicine session? Yeah. It's really interesting because like you don't have to go see your doctor. You just like it's kind of like a Zoom call with your doctor, you know. And I was talking to my doctor, and she was like, "Okay, like Jess, everything's going good. Like all my like I just got blood work done, and like a lot of my blood levels they went down. Like there was a lot of improvement, you know." And my doctor was like, "Okay, Jess, we're getting ready to finish up your telemedicine session. I'm gonna need to see a stool sample." And I was like, "Right now?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'll wait. Can you show me?" She was like, "Can you show me a stool sample?" And I was like, "Okay, I'll be right back." And so like I started walking to the bathroom, and my dog had just come in from outside, and I was like, "Oh, I'll show her," right? So I ran outside, and like I have a little tiny dog, like a little Chihuahua, and I was like, "I'm gonna use my dog's poop because like." Because it's like small and compact. It's like she's gonna think that my bowel is strong and healthy. I mean, look at the little poops I'm pushing out, you know. I brought it back and I showed it to her, and I don't think she bought it because tomorrow I should be getting my home colonoscopy kit, and we'll see how that goes. But so here's the thing: the reason I saw my doctor is because I wanted to see what my blood levels were at, because like recently I've lost a lot of weight. Like I got off the scale this morning, and it's taken a long time because it took a long time to get this fat. So it's going to take a long time to get on this fat. Like fat like this, like you really got to work at it. This isn't just like a vacation in Baja and you're like, "Oh shit, I gained weight." No, this is like I took the 90s off and gained weight. But I lost like 60 pounds recently. And guys, like what it's done for me, like I found my self-confidence. I found my self-worth. I found my dick. Yes, I found all kinds of stuff. I was like, "There you are, little buddy. I hadn't seen you." I call him Pablito. "Well, there you are, Pablito. I haven't seen you in a while." He like looked up at me. He's like, "Hey, boss, how you doing?" You know, he's got a really bad Mexican accent. Guys, I'm gonna leave you with that. Thanks for having me on your show. Stay positive. Be good to everybody. Wear a fucking mask. And if you can't wear a mask, I get it. But peace out, guys. I love all y'all. Take care.
All right, thank you, Jesse. Our next comedian coming up, she is the host of Staff Comedy's open mic, Comedy in the Apocalypse. Please give a hand to Maddie Nishimi.
That's me. Cool. I'm going to gloss right over the racial protests and go back to the haircut ones, because that fits into my material. So, you know, people are protesting because they can't get haircuts. I don't understand that because I've given myself haircuts several times. And, you know, it's always in times of emotional distress, but that's okay. You know, like once I woke up at 3 a.m. and I thought it would be a good idea to give myself bangs, probably because I'm mentally ill. And surprisingly, it was not a good idea. And so for about 6 months, my hair was like a measuring stick for how long it'd been since I had a mental breakdown. Or at least that mental breakdown. My therapist, before all of this was going on, he was telling me, "You have a tendency to isolate yourself." And I was like, I don't know. I think I got to go think about that alone for a while. He was telling me that I isolate myself, and he was like, "You should try and put yourself out there more and like meet new people." And then the CDC said to stay inside for 3 months. So now I don't have to listen to anything my therapist says. In quarantine, I got laid off. I got laid off before I finished job training even. Yeah, I got a job at a baseball stadium, and then the government said not to have any baseball games. So now instead of having a part-time job being a cashier, I have a full-time job selling fruit on Animal Crossing. I turned 20 this year, and what being in your 20s means is that you have to tell a lot of jokes about being in your 20s. I only have one so far. So being in your 20s, I have to I'm starting to be an adult now, but I'm not really one. I have to be responsible, but it's just the appearance of it. So now I open my emails, but I don't read them. There's nothing important in there. A lot of people are kind of upset, I think, because in the quarantine, because they can't be having all sex with all kinds of people. But I don't really find that to be an issue, because my policy on sex is the same as my policy on being killed. If nobody's gonna do it for me, I'll just do it myself. I think my phone thinks I've been having a lot of sex lately, because all of the ads it's been pushing at me are various forms of birth control. Like Plan B, condoms, Planned Parenthood, everything. So I think, oh, fuck, how did this joke go? I don't even know. So yeah, the joke, I'm just skipping it. I'm skipping it, and we're gonna pretend this never happened. Now I'm gonna get into body positive material. Yeah, this is what the show's about. I've been trying to lose weight, and in doing this, I was reading things, on the internet, and watching videos, what other people did, trying to figure out what would work for me. And I found this one woman who said something, just so revolutionary. She started off her statement. She goes, "Hi, I'm Jennifer, and I never wanted to be overweight." I have to confess, I actually don't know if her name was Jennifer or if she sounded that way. But as soon as she said, "I never wanted to be overweight," I named her Jennifer, and I gave her that voice. Because I don't know what she was thinking, does she think people actually want to be overweight? I mean, to be fair, personally, I know when I started on antidepressants, I was just itching for that weight gain side effect. And when it happened to me, I was like, thank God. I have been wanting to be at higher risk for diabetes and heart disease. And I have also been wanting it to be incredibly difficult to find clothing in my size. I don't know what all of these people are doing, dieting and paying for gym memberships. I want to look like the Lena Dunham of my friend group. During all of this quarantine, I've been watching a lot of Top Chef lately, because it's fun to watch food being prepared and not being able to eat it.
Yes.
I've been watching Top Chef, and I've noticed that every episode, one of the judges will say that their food, the contestants' food, either lacks point of view or has a good point of view. Point of view is their new thing with food. And I know our first thought on that is that's stupid, because food doesn't have a point of view. But we're all wrong. For instance, Quesaritos, they believe in the legalization and decriminalization of marijuana. And granola bars support the Green New Deal, and they take all of their first dates hiking. Smoothie bowls believe in the healing power of essential oils, and they ask you your astrology sign as soon as they meet you. But the best are microwave dinners, because they're all divorced alcoholics, and the only thing they believe in is pain. I'll end it on this one. When I was 16, I gained a bunch of weight, and my boobs went up 3 cup sizes, and it was awesome. It was so sick. And then it got to be summer, and I was like, so these are just extra armpits. That's it for tonight. Let's give it back to your host.
Thank you, Maddie. That was great. Next up, we have a comedian, good friend of mine, and please give a hand to David Shapiro.
Oh, hey guys. I've been taking notes the whole time, so I'm just gonna prove I've been paying attention. Jesse Gould said bras aren't a pain in the ass. They're not. They're actually a pain in the shoulder, like right here. I know because I do drag, and that's where it hurts. That and my lower back too, actually. Maddie's boobs went up 3 cup sizes in a summer. Mine went up 3 cup sizes overnight because when I started doing drag, I made my boobs out of rice. But then my dog ate one of my boobs before a show. And my girlfriend at the time was like, "It's cool, I'll order you some off Amazon." And so she did, but she ordered her size. My old size was 34B, and this new size was double D. And that was a huge change. And it was a lot to get used to for my back and for me. I'm sorry, I'm setting a timer so I don't go over my time here. But mostly, I learned the importance of having a proper fitting bra because my old bras were 34B, and all of a sudden I'm trying to put double D's in the bras. Only the women are going to laugh at this. And when you put double D in a B cup bra, it doesn't work, obviously. They were coming out of the top and they were falling out of the bottom. Sometimes they'd break through the bra cup like Kool-Aid Man, like, oh. But I gotta say, I got good bras, and I'm not 34, 32, and it's way less comfortable. It's way tighter, and that's how you know it's fitting right. It's really sucks, and it digs into your shoulder. So not a pain in your ass so much as your shoulder. Yeah, I don't have a lot of body positive material, but I know every time I do drag, I feel like sausage being poured into casing because women's clothes are uncomfortable and unforgiving, and very thin material. I'm always very cold when I'm in drag, except I have to pee, and the wig gives me a headache, and I'm tired. And my girlfriend at the time said, "There you go, what being a woman is." But yeah, so Maddie, I didn't know you were 20. That's awesome. You've been doing comedy for like 2 years, a year?
Like a year and a half.
Right on. I wish that I had the courage to start doing comedy so early. I think that's awesome. I don't know what I look like digitally, but in person, I look like I'm about 23 to 25. And that's great for me as an actor, except my agent doesn't understand that for some reason, and he keeps sending me for 35-year-old dad parts, which I'm 36, so that makes sense given my age, but I don't look like a 35-year-old dad should look. So when you put me next to a 12-year-old at an audition, it doesn't look like I'm going to play catch with my son. It looks like I'm going to sell the neighbor boy weed. A problem for me. Yeah, and sometimes I substitute teach in high school or even younger, and they ask me, "Are you a new student?" And I'm like, "No, I have. Look at this facial. What 18-year-old can grow a beard? Like, come on." But it's tricky when they're little kids. They won't pay attention to you if you don't look like an adult, which I don't look like an adult to them. I look like I should be on Nickelodeon, like telling a story. So oftentimes I have to use a trick that I picked up to get them to quiet down. I'll do a Bill Cosby impression because he used to not be a monster, and that used to be okay to do. So I'll be like, "Children, listen to me while I'm talking to you, and I'll give you Jello pudding." Blah, blah. Right? And they quiet down, and they pay attention immediately. But the problem is, now that we know he's a monster, the kids, I'm scared they're going to go home and say, "Mom, Dad, the sub did Bill Cosby things to us." And then it'll never work again. So I don't know if I can do that trick anymore. Sorry, I'm distracted by my dog. She's blind and deaf and senile and incontinent. I like to call her the Trump supporter of the house. I don't know if you guys want political jokes, but I opened that door, so I'm just going to keep going with it. Like Trump supporters last week found out that Pete Wentz is half black, and they find that out every 6 months or so. And that Rage Against the machine that Rage Against the Machine rages against is actually like their oppressive government. And that I thought that would be like if I found out that there's got to be a conservative celebrity or artist that I I'm thinking, hold on. There's got to be one, right? There's not, actually. That's the funny thing. So I'm going to have to return that box set DVD of Kelsey Grammer, James Woods, John Voight, and Stacey Dash. And that's a because I was looking forward to watching it. Trump last week said he's going to stop watching soccer because he doesn't agree with U.S. soccer's stance or not stance to let the players stand or not stand or kneel or however they want to do when the national anthem is played. But I think that's a bummer because all soccer games are really single-digit scores, like 3-2, 5-4. And so it's really easy for him to understand who won with those low scores. Hawk Nelson's frontman quit a couple weeks ago, and you're like, who's Hawk Nelson? It's a Christian rock band, and his name's Jonathan Steingarten. He revealed he doesn't believe in God, so I guess he didn't quit. He just revealed he's, an atheist now, and they're trying to figure out what to do. Mostly because since he's a Christian rock musician that doesn't believe in God, he has to immediately stop identifying as a musician. Barbers are not cutting hair anymore. I know we touched on that. But here's the thing, if anyone's watching out in digital land, if you're not getting your haircut, it's now we are, but like a couple weeks ago, if you weren't getting your haircut for a couple months, it's because either you get it cut at like a Super Clips or your hairstylist / barber doesn't like you. Haircut in back alleys and on patios of apartment buildings. Everyone is really pro supporting Black-owned businesses right now, which I think is great. But you got to be careful with the list of restaurants and stuff because some of them are out of date. Some of them aren't even right. So make sure you vet your list really well. But an easy tip is stay away from Rachel Dolezal's Black-owned Black Pretzel Shop. SpaceX was launched and it was scheduled, and then it was scrubbed, and then it wasn't launched, and it was filled with liquid oxygen, which is rendered LOX, LOX. That's how they abbreviate it. And I was watching, and I was like, "That's weird. I didn't know that rocket was Jewish." But then I should have known because it looks circumcised, really. So obvious. I think it's funny because like everyone was like, "Oh my God, 2020's coming." In 2019, we were all like, "2020's coming. We want 2020. Can't wait for 2020. It's going to be so much better than 2019. Come on, 2020. It's going to be the best year ever." And now it's here, and we hate it, and we wish it would go back. And that's what it's like to get 90 Day Fiancé. For my time, a round of applause to everyone before and after me, and give it back to your host, Dan Smith.
Yeah. Thank you. You guys ready for a headliner tonight?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right, good. The host of one of my favorite shows here in Sacramento called the Invisible Disability Show. Great comedian, good friend of mine. Please give a warm welcome to Amber Whitford.
Woo! Yeah, Amber.
Woo! Unmute yourself.
How does listen to me? Listen to this. This is already okay. Listen, you guys. I'm so glad that we are sheltering in place and kind of like mixed working from home and work in an office because it's been really rough for me over the years to work in an office. I'm like trapped in the room with the same people all the time, and it gets really hard to have breakdowns in front of the same people more than once a week. And so it's awkward for them, and I just find it easier to do that here in my apartment. So I've been seeing a therapist for a few years, and I felt like I couldn't trust her. It wasn't that she didn't listen to me when I was talking to her. It was just that the first time I met her, it was in the fall, and she was wearing espadrilles. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but for those of you who don't know, an espadrille is a hemp woven sandal, and it is exactly. And it's on I can see myself, it's making me weird. Okay, it's a hemp woven sandal on a wedge court heel. Listen, hemp woven sandal, wedge court heel. in the fall, in the rain. Her toes were just loose, out exposed. And I was just like, this lady obviously does not care about the safety of her own feet. So how can I trust her with my mental health? I had to quit her. I left her. The new therapist, he's Black. I feel like he really gets me. He understands me. And he wears Timberland boots in the fall like a decent human being. So yeah, that was the joke, you guys. That was the punchline. So yeah, a lot's been going on. I have been pretty scared to go outside often. One of the things I'm being treated for is PTSD, and that's post-traumatic slave disorder. I don't know if you guys know that one, but I inherited it from my parents, who inherited it from their parents, who inherited it from their parents, who got it from actual slavery. So it's really rough. It's like in my bones. It's kind of like a Stockholm syndrome thing. I'm anxious all the time. I don't know how to feel when I encounter white people. Like, is this the good kind of white person? Is this the bad kind of white person? I see these guys around. They're covered in these tattoos. And, oh my gosh, this has to be a secret white supremacy gang. So I'm staring at them. They're staring at me. I'm like, these guys are gonna kill me. And I think they're like, this crazy lady is fucking staring at me. But I'm still nervous because we don't know what's going on. There was a news article that said some guys that were super proud, and then these other guys with tiki torches were gonna come down to my neighborhood and beat everybody up. So I stayed in the apartment. I called my boss, and I'm like, I don't think that I can commute today through this dangerous traffic that we have of white supremacists marauding through my city. And she said, well, then just look out of your window and wave, and I'll count you as into work. Because I work across the street from my apartment. I just needed a reason not to go to work that day. I just needed a reason not to go to work. But it does, my fears kind of, they keep me wound up. I'm always concerned. Like, I'm on the street. I see white people everywhere I go. They're in my yoga studio. They're at the farmer's market. There's one in my apartment right now. That's my husband. Not a big deal. We'll talk about him later. And it's been a lot, but I will say I've spent a lot of time as what I like to call a gateway Black friend for people. And that's like, you know, you hear a lot of people like, oh, I have plenty of Black friends. I know them from work, and there's a guy who delivers our water. Those aren't your friends. I'm that person like that you actually get to know. You find out all kinds of things about my personal life. You find out what our hair feels like. That's how you find out what our hair feels like, is you get an actual Black friend. Because touching someone's hair is an intimate thing to do. So you touch my hair, I touch your hair. We're great, right? All perfect and fine. I'm here to answer all of your questions that you have. Your half Black niece comes and visits. You want to take her to get her hair braided, and now her spout's on fire. Call me, because I got you. A hot towel, wrap it around, a little coconut oil, ibuprofen. See that? We all learned something. Also, you know, exactly. I'm here for you. If you got screamed at in a grocery store for calling someone a handsome mulatto, and you're not sure what to do, and you're crying, just call me. First of all, I'm going to laugh at you, because that's a ridiculous thing that you said. Secondly, I'll explain to you why you shouldn't say things like that, and then point you to a couple of books to read. And it's like, I'm here. I'm providing a service to the world to make sure that everybody starts getting along better. I know your stuff, you know my stuff. And a friend once, she told me that I was racist against white people. And I gave her a list of things that I do all the time to support white people. I listen to yacht rock. I, every once in a while, order a pumpkin spice latte. I'm there for the white community. I appreciate you guys, and I love you. Like I mentioned, my white husband, you know, I use his white privilege when I need it. We all know the what's the thing called, a taxi cab story in New York City. So I won't go into that. But I want you to know, no matter how many experiences he has with me, he still hasn't become a Black person. But I feel like the more time I spend with him, I'm becoming a white person. And let me explain. There are things that I've been doing that I would have never done if I didn't know him. Case in point, hanging out on a zebra farm in upstate New York.
Ooh, girl.
I don't know any Black people who will be doing that. Exactly, Leslie. I am not at the zebra farm without this guy. But it was really fun. We had a great time. I was a little bit concerned because we hotboxed the trailer. Oh, pardon me, that's for non-weed smokers. We smoked a whole bunch of pot in the trailer on the zebra farm. And then I turn around and I see this small person coming through and I'm like, oh shit, that's a baby. And I said to these people, hey, your fucking baby's in here. And they're like, it's fine, she's used to it. And I'm like, I think that's exactly what the problem is. That was terrible. The good thing is I have cats. If I hotbox these cats, it's not a big deal. They're not gonna go out, they're not ruining any lives. Scrambles isn't getting anybody pregnant. I don't gotta worry about it. Perfect. Hotbox the baby, really fucking bad news. Hotbox the cat, no big deal. I've been thinking a lot about different things that I could do. Oh, you know what? I wanted to talk about something. I heard Jesse and Maddie, right? You're both being catcalled on the streets. And I want to talk about one of the things I am also in therapy for is a dual diagnosis, ABL and also SBL. ABL is angry Black lady, and SBL is fat Black lady. And I've been having these experiences. Sometimes my fat Black lady, like it's definitely situational. It pops up. Oh, actually, pardon me. It's a constant thing that I live with, the fat Black lady. But sometimes it's like it gets a hold of me and I don't know what to do. I'm walking down the street and I see this lady with this beautiful, I'm like, hey baby, where'd you get that sandwich? Like I'm catcalling sandwiches on the street. So I mean, I get it. It's just that I don't know what to do about it. I think I'm just gonna keep on yelling at people on the street asking them about their food. You stop people in the grocery store like, oh, what do you have in your basket? I want to know what people are eating and I want to eat it too. That's one of the reasons why my husband and I are a perfect match is we both are big, we're huge into binge eating. We love watching all the same TV shows, watching a lot of Star Trek. Then, you know, he has promised me that when I die, he'll move all the like snack wrappers away before the coroner comes in. So like people don't know. Well, I mean, I guess obviously people are gonna know probably what happened. They're gonna assume, but there won't be any evidence. He promised. It's in our wedding vows. So right now I've been thinking about, or actually for years I've been thinking about other jobs that I could take. I thought about becoming a mortuary scientist, and I thought science was in the title, and I realized I'm not really a science person, so I moved away from that. I saw mortuary art, and basically you're just planning the funerals, you're getting the theme together, getting everybody dressed up, and you can cry all day long at work. No big deal, because either everybody else is crying or they're dead. Boom. Brilliant, right? I was thinking about what my other job skills are, and I am really good at canceling contracts over the phone. Again, pairing snacks and beverages. I can spot a bug anywhere in the room. That's a pretty important superpower. I think that one of the most useful superpowers is that I can decipher like lyrics about butt sex in songs, which also goes with the fact that I can recognize anybody by their butt. Like, I'm a master at booty recognition. And so I'm going to tell you that way that I knew for sure that I was definitely a master at. Okay, so I'm sitting in the living room with my husband. We have some sort of delicious treats here. I'll tell you though, we do have a problem. We fight about. I'm a secret eater, and he loves to show off. Like, look, you guys, we got South. And don't tell everybody all of the shit that I'm shoving down my gullets. So, okay, we're back. What were we talking about? Oh, my superpower. So we're eating things, we're watching Star Trek, and there is this character, and he's covered in full makeup. You don't know who he is, can't tell, there's no face. I kind of recognize the voice. I'm like, who is this guy? And he runs away through the promenade at Deep Space Nine, jumps over a bush, and there I saw it, that booty. And I knew, that's Bumper Robinson. Sure enough, looked it up, it's Bumper Robinson, 100%. 100. I have a 100%, what's the word? Statistics, something like that, science stuff. Success rate, yes, at recognizing and identifying booty. So put your butt in a lineup, and I know it. Maddie, I even know your butt. You didn't think I knew that. Dan, I even know your butt.
No, you.
So if you need me, I'm there for you. Let's see, what other jokes did I want to talk about? Let's see. We talked about PTSD. Oh, there's this thing that's been going on with me. It's related to ABL. And also kind of a little fight that David and I have been having around the house. So at work, someone requested an ergonomic stapler. And as you know, ergonomics is really important. You don't want anybody to be injured on the job. So I'm gonna order the stapler for this lady. It was like 40 forms, 13 original signatures, 600 emails. 6 weeks later, the stapler arrives. Like, baby, look at this. Hand her over the stapler. She returns it. Says, this isn't what I ordered. I'm like, oh my God, okay, let's get it. Let's get the right thing. I don't want you using the wrong stapler. So I begged the vendor to swap it out. 100 more forms. I had to talk to somebody on the phone. Ma'am, I put a lot of effort into this for you. So the stapler arrives, I deliver it, and she says, this isn't what I ordered. I'm like, what's wrong? And she says to me, I ordered a silver stapler, and this stapler is gray. I ordered a silver stapler, and this stapler is gray. And I looked at her, and I was like, the difference between silver and gray is glitter. I've got glitter, you're gonna be fine. Every chance I get, I fart in her cubicle. What's going on? Let's see, do we have any other jokes? How much time have I been? I don't wanna go over my time. I'm habitually late for things. I'll tell you, every morning I play this game. I still play it right here in my apartment while I'm teleworking. It's called Procrastinator's Challenge. Here's how the game goes. You have 3 hours to get to work. Your commute, it's 5 minutes walking. What do? to ensure that you're 10 minutes late for work. Exactly. A whole bunch of nothing, sitting still, wishing that you could somehow make the work come to you, or just disappear. I spend a lot of time playing fetch with my cat. Yeah, I think sometimes I get in this mood of making jewelry before work, because you can't go to work on Friday the 13th without a black cat pendant, right? Get some old buttons, some hair ties, whip it up. You go to work like a decent person, like a lady. So I'm gonna have to find like something fun to tell you guys to close with, because I want people to laugh. I feel like we're getting kind of low here. The powers. Let's see. Ew. So this is unprofessional, but I'm fine with that. We didn't talk about ergophobia. We talked about my therapist. This is what I'm doing. It's totally rude. Don't be mad. Don't judge me. Actually, judge me. It's fine. I'd rather you say right now how much you hate me for doing this. Oh, did I tell you that one of the things that I'm in therapy for is anxiety and social anxiety. That's why I really just need you to tell me now that you hate me, so I know before I leave, I don't have to worry about it after this. So let's see. We're this is an 18 and over room, right? I was doing a lot of cussing already, but I want to talk to you guys. Something serious happened to me a few years ago. I suffered a traumatic brain injury. A lot of people don't understand what happens to you, but there's like, for me, when I had the brain injury, I was dizzy. I had vertigo for weeks. My brain, I guess it was like shaken. I don't know. I hit my head. I fell masturbating in the shower. And at 200 something, pounds or inches, whatever, per something like that, science words, boom, hit my head on the metal faucet. 5 stitches. 6 weeks later, they're saying, nope, you can't ride your bike for 6 months. You can't drive for 2 years. And friends, I'm still not allowed to masturbate without supervision.
Oh, God.
Thank you very much, everyone. That's my time. And thanks for checking in. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Amber.
I love you. I love you guys.
Love you. That's going to be our show for tonight. Thank you very much for being here. Let's give a big round of applause to all the comedians that we saw tonight.
Oh, look. Oh, wait.
What's this guy's name? Who's this?
Wait, look, guys.
Oh my God.
Look. Meet Pippi Longstocking.
Oh my God. Debbie, come here.
So cute.
My dog is asleep. So.
She is.
Thank you, Derek, for putting the show together.
She's over this.
Falling asleep over there.
Okay, you guys. I'm gonna hang up because I'm gonna smoke some pot and watch some Star Trek with my husband. We already ate everything, so. Oh, there's ice cream. Love you.
Love you.
Thank you guys for coming.
Register to vote.
Mask.
Vote or die.
Thank you, everyone. This was fun.
Yeah, great time.
Thanks, Derek.
Thank you.
All right.
Does it take your breath away?
How do I leave?
And
Oh,
you
over here.
feel yourself
Bye, guys.
suffocating?
Bye.
Does the pain